But like, actually, spinning off of that photo, I think there could potentially be room for another cast member. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Oh, is it that time?
It's that time. It's that time to put up the panel and judge everybody on who should it be more.
I just got to look at my cell phone one more time. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. You better start throwing some money at my Patreon, because sometimes, what do they say? You don't not look the greatest. You just ain't got your money right. So listen, we are in a working hard stage, but I'm ready to be in my arrogant stage. So just make it happen and shut up. No, okay, we will move on. we will move on. So this is the big question of today. We loved that episode. That was season 5, episode 6. But we do want to know who deserves a mojito. Yeah. So, Russell Ray, co-host with the most, me, RandomlyRJ.com. We want to ask the question because we love Real Housewives of Miami so much. It is a perfect cast. Everyone kind of fits in. The ones that we don't enjoy all the time still make sense right now. But it did kind of have my mind plagued as to, like, these part-timers are really good. And we saw on Real Housewives of Atlanta that Marla was always a really good part-timer. And then when she went full-time, it didn't really work. Maybe it wasn't a great season. I don't know. But I said, we're doing this recap. We have a great time doing this recap. Let's just ask the question, who deserves a mojito? So out of the Real Housewives of Miami part-timers, Marysol, Kiki, or Adriana, who should or would be great for a full-time position? What is your overall opinion on each of them? And then we'll kind of decide which one we would put in the full-time cast member position if we were running things.
Okay. Let me see. It's tough because everyone has a place, right? So if you bring in Kiki, and I'm just looking at my notes for a second. If you bring in Kiki is going to elevate Julia in the sense of the modeling world, right? And so they can kind of bridge off on that storyline together, and it could really be women empowering women, especially at this day and age. That would be a great storyline. I do think Kiki has some great one-liners, and I think she can wild out, which I also appreciate. Marysol is a veteran, so she's been there. She's done that. I think she brings her.
She's funny. She's self-deprecating
to the table, and she is funny. She is who she is. She's gonna make her drinks, and that's kind of, there's an element of Marysol that we love as viewers, right? But there's also an element that we're still missing because we used to lean into Mama Elsa and like their conversations, and her mom used to call herself a witch because she knows things. R.I.P. So
I love and miss Mama Elsa so much.
I do. I used to love the way she would just like, she was very Celia Cruz for me, and she would just like say it as it is, and I think she added something to the series as well.
Yeah. Some major points though. Marysol is, in fact, even if she's trying too hard sometimes, or it's a shtick, because sometimes it is, I still feel like there's something that maybe because her mom did pass and like it was just a new stage in her life, or she's happily married now, or whatever the case, she is a little bit more fun and entertaining now. Shtick and all. I worry though, in terms of us asking the question, which of these Real Housewives of Miami cast members should go from part-time to full-time. I worry that she might have it too good right now. Like, this is good. I get to come in here. I get to play up the drunk thing. I also get to play up my age, which I love that. That's the part. If it was me, if I was in Marysol's corner, I would say play up that, that you're not the youngest, you're a little more aged than the rest of the cast members.
Yes.
Wear the most, vibrant, wear a muumuu if you had to, you know what I mean? Wear a caftan every episode. Not a muumuu.
She was giving the nanny vibes at the poolside with her green outfit, like.
But I'm saying I like that, and I know. Well, I don't know if you know, but I think we've said this. There are so many Real Housewives in terms of the franchise that we don't mind like a Dr. Nicole gets your life. You know, your skin is taut. You're in your 30s, whatever. I love Melissa Gorga. You know, she was very young when she started. But we always love like a Dorinda Medley. We usually love you know, Leah from Miami was really great. We kind of like a little bit more of a, you don't got to be the Golden Girls, but you got to be something like very, very not bougie. Well, maybe the word would be bougie. So I like Marysol as an option to go full time, but I think she's really dipped into her place.
Yes.
Here, like this is good. And you know, the one thing to think about is she has not had to really bring her husband into the show. And as somebody she's been married, I think 3 times, maybe it's for the best. Maybe you get that check, you do all your press, you sell your, you know, whatever product she's working on or whatever the case, and building her cachet. That's great. And you don't really have to get into the weeds of bringing her husband on the show. I mean, I haven't seen him that much on the show.
You know what's great about, you know, here's the thing, and here's how I would rank them now thinking about it. I would rank Kiki as number 1. I would rank Adriana as number 2. And then I would put Marysol as number 3. And the reason being is because, again, this is going to come down to money as well, because they already might be making more than some of the full-time cast members. But I don't think that Marysol should be putting in more effort than she already is, because she just doesn't have to. There's really not much more to tell, not in a bad way, but she's like Kathy Hilton of Beverly Hills. It just works. We don't want to see Kathy full time.
Does it work?
We don't want to.
Does it work?
Look, Kathy brings some good one-liners. She also is. Kathy
agree to disagree.
Very, far removed from reality. Like, she doesn't know the lady's name at her house. Like, girl, bye.
I'll challenge you on this one. I love your point because you were using it to make a point, but I will challenge you. There is no way Marysol, like in terms of like that position, Kathy is nothing on Marysol in that position, in that kooky, oddball part-timer, in my opinion. What I'm
saying is, I think.
Damn, I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight.
Look, Alexia. Look,
it's not that serious, Kathy Hilton. We're good. Why was I so anxious? I'm over here like Kathy Hilton. If you could just make it rain on my Patreon, I'll be a lot sweeter. Patreon.com/RandomlyRJ Jr. Thank you very much. Okay, back to you, Russell.
Thanks, Miss Kathy. But for real, here's the thing. She knows her place and she plays it well, right? We have those actors that we don't want to see in blockbusters, but they play the good best friend. They do. And they play that secondary role excellent. And I think Marysol plays that role excellent. So would I want to give her a full-time position? No, because she would have to do more, and it's unnecessary at this moment, especially because fitting in with the cast right now and doing more, I don't think would work. But if there was a moment in the future seasons, like 2-3 seasons down the line, where the way that the cast was interacting, that we needed more from Marysol, that would be the time to step up from her. But as of right now, I think she's good. She's in a good position. She doesn't have to put her whole life on blast.
Protect your
marriage.
Why I
don't give her. That's why I don't give her a high ranking on like you should be number 1 or number 2. Like, no,
and she's carved
she's fine. She has nothing to prove.
She's carved a position in this show. Like,
yes.
She leaves the show, we feel a little bit of a void. I mean, and honestly, like Julia's not my favorite, but Julia doesn't really work to me because she is a full-timer. We have to get so much out of her. I would have been so much more comfortable with Julia. Like you said, the modeling stuff would have been fun and fun Martina stuff. Now we're going deep into these serious issues, and it's like Julia keeps telling the world, I'm the kooky one, I'm the kooky one, I'm the goofy one, I'm the weird one. Like, I kind of like think, wow, that would be so much more compelling in a part-time role. So to your point, Marysol is good enough to be a full-timer. We like her. However, she's already done full-time. I would say even in the vein of protecting your marriage. I mean, because thinking about that, like, you're on a show, you've been married many times. You're on a show where it didn't really work when you were a full-timer. It just didn't. And you could say she was a little more uptight back then. She was running her marketing or PR firm. And so that didn't play on camera really well. Or she was just under the being under Mama Elsa. It's very hard to shine
under your parents.
Under your parents in general. But then you got this woman that the world just loves, in terms of this television show. So since she's already done it, I say, to our question, which of these cast members should go to full-time? I say, unfortunately, it wouldn't be Marysol. Adriana never does enough for me. I'm interested to see, this storyline of her being lonely and like having a hard time dating. And it's not that she has a hard time dating. She's a beautiful woman. Let's just be clear about that. I
Yeah.
give her a hard time. She's not one of my favorites. Season 1, season 2, season 3, or season 4. However, I am really interested in her kind of slowing her roll and saying, like, I mean, it's interesting to me because Miami is like this fashion and this sexy city, and she's gorgeous. She speaks 5 languages. She does, she does the music. She's involved in art. She's kind of a catch. And then she's doing this whole like, if you date me, we got to wait 4 months before we, hit the bedroom or whatever. I just feel like in that regard, there's something fascinating by that, and that's why I feel like in a part-time position works. So by default, and I don't, let me not say it like that. By default, and by I think she's really great addition to the show. I think Kiki would be interesting in a full-time position. You're right. She would really make Julia's storyline make a little more sense.
Yes.
Getting into the modeling world, it would be very enlightening for all of us. Seeing that modeling isn't what it used to be 20 years ago. I mean, just to be real, I and my voluptuous body could be a model. There's
Very
something for
much.
everybody now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying like serious.
Yeah.
So Kiki just, she's humorous now. But I think there is a little intrigue to know more about her. And the last bias that, of course, I'm going to have is that Larsa and her are so close. At least that's what they say on the show, that I would love to kind of see where that goes. And it's not a cast that needs to be shooken up by any means, but this is just a question that we had.
I think Kiki takes the number 1 spot because she has something to add. There's something about her that we don't know yet that we want to find out. And I think she's fun. She's entertaining. She just pops. Like she really does add something. And there's a potential there that hasn't been unlocked as a part-timer. It's getting there, but I feel like she will be the next one to join the full cast. If someone wants to leave, I think Kiki would be the first one I would call to bring up and give her a full-time position because I think she's great in every aspect. Like she really is. And
I'm going to tell you, we're not in the position to say who of the cast that's full-time to be demoted, because that's not what I really want to do. I think all of them could stay. And I've said this and I'll say it every time. The way that they manage the original cast into Dr. Nicole and Gertie and it fitting so well is like something Bravo has not done in a very long time. Dr. Nicole, Gertie fit perfect in the full-time position. So I really truthfully feel like it's a solid cast. And if anything going forward, it'll just be things to add to it, because it's not really a big number of people. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full-timers. 7 to 8 would be probably, actually 7 to 8, I think is sort of what we're seeing over on Jersey. So you mean to tell me Miami can't maybe get the same? I mean, as it is in the Jersey cast, we don't even need Bill's wife. Like she's unnecessary. So
I hate that you say that.
There's that.
I think she adds an unnecessary drama. I think she does.
I'm gonna turn your mic off.
And I think
I didn't turn your mic off. You're lying.
I did
Dang, that was terrible because I low-key thought something messed up. You son of a bitch. If you want to support what we do, RussellRaySilva.com, RandomlyRJR.com, and as I've stated before, Patreon.com/RandomlyRJR. Of course, on this particular episode, we're talking about Real Housewives of Miami, but you will see more from both of us. So if you like what we're doing, please put it in the comments. And this was just a fun question. Let us know what other question you want us to explore. Each and every episode, we're just recapping Real Housewives of Miami, the actual episode. But to say that our tangents don't go to places, it would be an understatement. You know what I mean?
I mean, last but not least, when it comes to a little R&R, which cast would you like to see myself or Ronnie join? Which cast do you think we would best fit in? We want to find out in the comments, and we'll see our positions next week and where we end up.
Wait, so you're saying like
if they had to add you or I to a cast, which housewife franchise?
Okay, I have the answer.
And why?
Years ago, it would have been Potomac because I interviewed Giselle and was, stayed in touch with her manager, Erica Lyles. And I actually pitched some stuff for Giselle too. And she was very interested. It just never worked. And Giselle, I just love. So it would have been Potomac. But, and then I would say it would be New Jersey because I love Melissa.
Yes.
But I've already experienced a lot of really good life living on the East Coast. So I don't really need New York or New Jersey necessarily. I'd have to literally be, if it was me waving a magic wand, it would be like, you know how Alexia has her favorite gay? It would be like Larsa saying, "Come on, randomly Ronnie Jr. We got to go to this event." I'll be like, "All right, let's go." That's to me heaven. So that's where I'm putting myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say I would put myself with Jersey, but I'm probably the full-time cast member that New York needs because New York. There's something weird about New York Housewives. It just doesn't pop. It just doesn't work after the originals. And I think they're missing. I'm not gonna say a broke housewife, but someone who would be out with like the regular New Yorkers, like not someone that's living a pretentious life. That's like, we want to see the people who are like out in the New York social life. And that's not what we're getting. We're getting like the Hamptons, which is great, but we're not getting like Fire Island, and we're not getting like the main spots to be in Chelsea or Lower Manhattan. Like, we're not getting any of that, which is what we get on every other franchise. We're not getting that. We get West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and we get Beverly Hills, but we're just not getting all the aspects of New York that New York has to provide. But I mean, by default, you can find me in New Jersey because I'm always ready to flip a table on somebody who turns sideways on me. And I don't have to get ready just because I stay ready.
That's what we have to do next episode. We have to do our Real Housewives taglines as podcasters. Yes, we have to. We have to submit a couple. So we'll do that next episode too. Hey, thank you for anyone who's joining.